Hey everyone! We're deeper into the kitchen today because my dad had a request to have me show him how to use the Bialetti Mocha Express made in Italy. I'm sure you've seen these coffee makers around. They have three parts. One is the top chamber. That's the top chamber. See on the bottom, there's some holes and there's a gasket right here. But if your gasket runs out, you can always buy extras. The second part is this. It's for your espresso. It's a little chamber. If you've ever been a barista, you know that this is very close to the little thing that you put the espresso in. I don't know what this is called. Tell me what it's called. But anyhow, it's got this with a little stem on it. And then the third part of these coffee makers is the bottom chamber. This bottom chamber is where the water goes. There's a little line. Now I'm going to flip the camera down so you can see what I'm actually doing. Can we put it on the boxes of pasta? The first thing I'm going to do is take this and fill it up with water to the little tick mark I showed you. And there we've got water in there. The second part I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I am going to hit the camera with my hand. The second part I'm going to do is take my Illy Classico and I'm going to put this in here. Oh no, I'm running low. I'm not supposed to pack these, but I kind of level them off like that. Depending on what size your bialetti is, about 3 tablespoons, heaping or otherwise. That's what I fill it up with. Super simple. I don't know if you're supposed to level it off. I don't think you're supposed to pack them like you would pack an espresso shot. I think you can just level it off. At least that's what I do. Then all you do is drop this in, just like that. And then you take the top part and you screw it right on. You want to do this fairly tight because it needs a good seal. Otherwise, as this starts to boil, water will start coming out of the sides here. Okay, let me change the camera position again. This is a bit of a weird angle. I usually use a smaller burner. I don't use this big one because it's a little too big for the bottom of this. I put it on the high flame. You center it right over the flame. This part I judge based mostly on sound. You're listening for this to start percolating, and I'll show you once it starts percolating, but it is a very distinctive sound that will alert you that it's ready to come off the stove, or at least that it's ready to come off the heat. You know the old saying, a watch pot never boils. That's what I'm dealing with right now. Okay, I caught this just in time. As you can see, it's starting to bubble. It's starting to percolate, and there's steam starting to come out of the top. And that means that the water has boiled below and is now doing some science thing in order to get the coffee into the chamber. So the water is sciencing through the grounds to give you coffee in the top. I don't actually know what that term is. Science. That's the term. And as you can see, a lot more is bubbling up. I'm gonna open this. You probably shouldn't do this in the middle. There's my coffee. Oh my God. So at this point, typically I turn off the heat, mostly so I don't burn the coffee. Just wait for it to percolate until it's done. And so I just leave this here for another 3 to 4 minutes. It's not the fastest way to get coffee because you have to wait until the water in the chamber kind of doesn't kind of boil, it definitely boils. But it's a great stovetop method. I love it. If you're ever in Italy, this is the only thing they have at Airbnbs, so it's good to know if you go. And then yeah, there, the very top, you can actually see the coffee is bubbling out of that middle area, and that's that vacuum, or somebody who knows more about science could tell me, bringing the coffee into the chamber. Now, because I've kind of messed with it while it was still going, I know that when I'm done with this, there'll still be water in the bottom chamber and not all the coffee in the top. If you just set it and forget it, once you turn off the heat, once it's got bubbling and whatnot, it will make your pot totally fine and you won't have as much water at the bottom, is what I've noticed. I'm not an expert in this, so if you know a better way to use the Bialetti, by all means, show me. If you have an IKEA version, whatever version, this is just the classic Mocha Express. This is I believe this is the 4 to 6 cup, which is tiny amount that you actually get out of it. When you're reading it, the 1 to 2 cup is very, very small, would take you no time, but you really would only get 1 cup of coffee out of it, whereas this is like the 4 to 6. And once it's stopped bubbling, then that's when I can pour it. So I've got my little mug here. Normally I would wait for this part because, you know, it's like boiling hot. This is a very large mug, so I only fill it about halfway because, again, this illy, it's an espresso preparation. So it's going to prepare like an espresso would, so it's going to be nice and strong. The great thing about this thing is you can put cold milk right in here and it won't make your coffee too cold because it's literally boiling hot. So yeah, I add a little bit of oat milk into it. That is how to use the Bialetti coffee maker. And as you can see, I've got half of that chamber left. So it's made enough for about 2 of these 14 to 16 ounce mugs, so they're quite large. So what you can also do is, if you don't like your coffee that strong, go ahead and put boiling water with it and make it an Americano. Oh, I should have had it filming this way so you could see the cute little dude. He's cute, he's on it. Coffee is done. Maybe the whole thing takes 10 minutes, start to finish. It produces a great cup of coffee.